What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Cozy Vlogs. My name is Kristen. If you're new, if you're not new, then thank you so much for joining back in today. We are gonna do an early to mid complete June garden tour, and I want to show you all the changes that we have made in the garden in this spring and also in the past. I'll try to put a couple of videos here on how the garden looked last year, and so we can compare it to how it looks this year. I think that will be really interesting to see because it has evolved so much since last year. We have made so many changes and we added quite a bit of stuff this spring as well. So there's a lot of things going on that you haven't seen yet. Our last frost date was May 15, so just since then it has been warming up, though I do have to say it is still kind of chilly. It's not super warm yet, but we are supposed to get warm next week. So we're gonna be around 20 degrees. I'll put the Fahrenheit here. And I can't wait for the plants to be taking off, but let's see what's actually growing in my Zone 5A garden. What better way to start than the beginning? So if you're new here, then basically where this hedge is where our garden is, and then on the other side there is also like the border of our garden, so we're right in the middle. This is our neighbor and these are also our neighbors. This pergola belongs to us, and this rose arch, and kind of like this little patch here, which we have to definitely plant out soon. If you remember last year, this area was filled with lilacs. Everything was dug out this year, and we tried to get all the roots out. There was a lot of trash here from the previous owners of the house, but as you can see, the lilacs are coming back, which is actually not a problem for me because that means that I can just prune them into trees. Before it was like a lilac hedge, and I do like lilacs a lot, so that's not a problem per se. We just have to be very vigilant about pruning and like prune them into a tree. Then I added this spirea bush just I think 2 weeks back, and it's doing great. I love spirea, so that's gonna be, as it grows up, like a nice bush at the entrance of the garden. And then last year we added this rose arch and also made these like planters for the roses. They are going through into the native ground, so the roses can like really reach down. I had tulips and hyacinths and daffodils blooming here in the spring, which was super beautiful. I did share that on my shorts. But yeah, this is basically one of the entrances to our garden. So we enter through here, and there is a lot more stuff planned for this area, so this is gonna be taken care of probably this summer and next summer. But where we really made changes is on this side. I'm gonna show you in just a sec. The roses that I've planted here last fall, they're actually doing so amazing. This is the variety Camelot, and I call it Sir Camelot, and I just snapped that twig. Great. It's okay, I'll just fix it later. And these roses, they're climbing roses, and you can see how far they have climbed already, the arch. Here is the rose Kiss Me Kate. It's this like tufted or fluffy rose. They're both amazingly perfume like smelling roses, and they climb really fast, I want to say. Then here is another spirea bush. So I have one here and one there. They're two different varieties. So I think this is the Snowball and this is Griefheim. And then when you enter through the rose arch, which I hope will definitely fill more out this summer, here is where we currently keep all of our wood that we have cut down from the lilac bushes, or like that were from old garden projects that we're probably gonna reuse. So Here's currently our wood storage. It looks awful, but we're gonna take care of it very soon. Then this area, like I said, I need to fill out still. I will have some lilac trees here, and probably I want to put an almond tree here and another magnolia tree. We have rhubarb here, quite the big patch actually, and the rhubarb looks amazing. I do have to harvest some of that. And then this is our tuya tree hedge, and then here is the veggie garden. I have some petunias that I started from seed here. Hopefully they will start to bloom soon. They are Celebrity Star. Then I have my strawberries. This is an ever-bearing variety. It's Ostara, and I have a couple of more strawberries along this pergola here. Here's another one. So hopefully these will provide us with some strawberries soon, though they are really filled with them. I had them in the same spot last year, and I really loved having them hanging here. And we had a lot of dwarf hyacinths, tulips blooming here. I currently have some violas here. I have sweet woodruff. That's actually still from last year, and it's blooming at the moment. I also have gladiols in here, dahlias, and lilies. Some of these were from last year, some of these I planted this year. More strawberries. These are June bearing, and these are ever bearing. Then I have more petunias here as well, and another little patch of violas in a pot. These are so pretty, I think. I also added this garden stake, which I really love, this rusty color. And this is where our other entrance to the garden is basically. We have some rainwater barrels here and more wood storage. And I do have another spirea here. This right here is a landscaping project that's still ongoing, as you can see. Definitely need to add a lot more mulch here and a few more little bushes and things. So this is the spirea, the Japanese variety. It's called Genpei. It blooms this beautiful pink color. So cute. And then here is the overview of my veggie garden basically, and this is where we did the most additions this year. We still have to do something about this border. I don't like these wooden beams here, so we're probably gonna use this stones I have here and make kind of a curved stone border. Just looks a lot nicer. Then I have this super cute weeping pines here. This one is called Schubert and this one is called Hubert. Yes, we give our plants names. And I just added these this spring. This one had a really bad aphid issue. In general, I've been really struggling with aphids this year. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we had such a mild winter here. I think the lowest it went was minus 15, and probably only for 2 days. We usually a lot colder and a lot longer colder. So I don't know if that was the issue why I'm struggling so much with aphids this year. But I used some neem oil on those weeping pines and on a couple of other trees, and that actually took care of them pretty well. So hopefully we'll not see much more of the aphids this year. But yeah, these weeping pines I just love. I think they're so pretty. Then I have red currants here. This is where last year the huge raspberry hedge was. If you have been here since last year, then you know that it took me so many hours to dig all of this up, and only a couple of raspberries have come through, so I did a pretty good job. Here's another red currant and the other weeping pine. And then I added 3 more blueberry bushes, and they're actually filled. They are filled with blooms. So hopefully it's gonna be a good blueberry year. They are all different varieties. This is like kind of my native patch, I want to say, like blueberries, pines. This is very typical for Estonia. Then I added this magnolia tree. It has bloomed already once since I got it, and it's gonna bloom again soon. So here's my little blueberry border. Then I have cranberries here as well. There's also gonna bloom soon. Those tulips are just about done. And then here is our plum tree that's actually doing amazing. We're definitely gonna get a lot of plums this year. As you can see, it's like dropping the ones that it can't support, those yellow ones. And so the other ones are gonna be growing into plums for us. There are a lot of them on there actually. And I did prune it back in the spring. Unfortunately, I think this part above this little bud has died off, but that's fine. We're gonna do some more pruning soon with it. Then here is our little hosta, which I think is so gorgeous. And we have a peony here. And also this hosta I bought this couple of weeks back. I think I didn't harden it off enough, so a lot of the leaves died down. This is called Shadowland Diamond Lake. It's so pretty. It's kind of like bluish, but it is bouncing back, so hopefully it will be big soon again. It's supposed to be winter hardy, but it was from the greenhouse when I bought it, so I guess it just wasn't hardened off. And then I think these hydrangeas did not make it because they have no greens on them. But you win some, you lose some. That is how it is. If you garden, you know. Then coming on from my native patch and the blueberry patch, like I said, here is some more of the peonies. These are red blooming, I believe, and we got these actually from our neighbors, which is so nice of them. I have some more violas here, and our little pear tree that's actually doing super great, and these hydrangeas made it luckily. So I think this area here is where the biggest changes have taken place. This one we had already last year, this garden bed, but we did add 3 more garden beds. These ones here, and the greenhouse, which is a super great addition for our garden. Here in Zone 5A, you definitely have to maximize your growing season either with cold frames or with a greenhouse. And since we had the space, I went for a greenhouse, and let me tell you, I am loving it. I had the chance to put my little seedlings there for hardening off, and I'm also growing my tomatoes in here in the greenhouse. I will show you in just a second. But the greenhouse is definitely one of the newest, greater additions. And then also we completely dug all those lilacs out that were back there, and we actually changed the fence. Before it was this kind of wire fence, and we had those bamboo sticks on there, and now this is a solid wooden fence, so it's much more sturdy and a lot more privacy. It makes a really big difference. But starting finally with the veggie garden, I have some calendula flowers here. This is the Fiesta Gitana mix. Then some dill that self-seeded itself from last year. I'm growing 3 garlic varieties here. This one is the variety Messidrome. This one is the variety Germidor. And then this is the variety Lubasha. And let me tell you, I can see a really big difference in how big the garlic is so far, in how well it's growing. The Lubasha one is definitely the best growing one so far. Then it's actually Germidor, and then Messidrome. Those sticks are just like stalks are a lot thinner than the ones that you have over here. And I think my chunkiest garlic is this one here of the Lubasha variety. It's actually so big. I don't know if you can see. I'm measuring with my thumb. It's really chunky. And I have some parsley in here as well that was left from last year. And some cilantro. It got knocked over because we had kind of like a rainstorm last night, so it did get knocked over a little bit. Then I have some snapdragons here. Oh, and by the way, all of these are hardneck garlic varieties, but so far they haven't flowered yet, so we're still waiting on that. This is my first year growing garlic in my own garden. I have done it with my grandma a couple of times, but not by myself, and back then it was also in Germany. So it is a big difference of the climate here, and I just want to see how it goes. So I'm excited to find out when it flowers and then when I can harvest it. And this garlic, once it comes out, I think I'm gonna plant some carrots here, some shorter maturation date ones, just because usually we get our first frosts in the end of September or in the first week of October. So I need something that can tolerate colder weather. And I'm definitely also gonna plant some stuff in the greenhouse then. Then what's also growing in this garlic bed is some garlic chives. Those were from last year. They came back. And then I also planted these yard-long beans. Though, I don't know, something has eaten them. I think there were like slugs in here, because I saw one or two of them the other day and I did pick them out. So hopefully these that got chewed on will recover. And then in the new beds, we did char them on the inside. And we're gonna replace this bed and do it the same way like these beds next year though. And here I'm growing a bunch of snapdragons on the sides. Then I have two zinnias here, some onions, and then mainly potatoes in this bed. There are a couple of onions growing in between, as you can see here, but mainly potatoes. I'm growing two varieties. They're Solist and Annegret, and Solist is a very fast growing one. So they said on the package that it will be ready around midsummer, which is 23rd, 24th of June. We have midsummer celebrations here in Estonia, which are 23rd and 24th of June. So just about after the actual midsummer, which is on the 21st. But I doubt that they will be ready by then. I don't know, they're doing amazing, but I don't think they will be ready by then. But we'll see. Then here I have another row of Annegret potatoes that I couldn't fit in here. And here I also buried yard-long beans, but they didn't make it. So I don't know. We'll see what I will put here still. Then in this bed I have done companion planting. So I have a couple of onion varieties, and I'm growing them together with carrots. Onions and carrots grow really well together, so this was my strategy. And I have rainbow age carrots, I have charisma carrots, I have deep purple carrots, and then Naomi carrots, which I have over there as well. And the onions that I'm growing here are Stuttgarter Riesen, which is like Stuttgart Giants in English. And I had, let me check. They're the Carmen. So these are like red onion type. So yeah, we'll see how this goes here. The carrots have different maturation dates. I think the longest ones are these deep purple, which is 135 days until maturation. They are like a purple carrot, and I have not grown them before, so we'll see how that goes. Then this bed here has just been filled. last weekend, so it's quite new. I did grow, I think, all of this from seed except that little compact pumpkin, which is a Hokkaido pumpkin. It's meant for growing in a pot, but I think it will do great here as well. And then I have melons. Over here we have the Charente melon. I did start them way too early, I believe, and those two were in a pot together, which is, I think, why their leaves are so small. They just been like too cramped up in a pot. So I think these have just been deprived of nutrients for a little too long, but we'll see if they actually bounce back now. They have more space. So I put also some marigolds here. Here are some hot peppers. They're the Poseidon variety. Then I have snack pepper here, which is called Yala and Rayla. They are like this yellow and red snack peppers, very small. So these are very small and sweet snack peppers. Then I have paprika or bell pepper here, 2 plants. And here are also, oh no, it attached to one of my bell peppers. And here is one of my 2 cucamelons. The other one is in a greenhouse. I did want to see if maybe one does better in the greenhouse and the other one does better outside. And here are my cucumbers. This is the Nikki 4 variety, and that one is the same. So this is also Nikki 4. These were stunted a little bit because when they were in the greenhouse, it did still get a little bit cold at night. So I think I stunted them just a little bit. But now that it has been getting warmer, they are taking off. So that is definitely learning for next year. Then this trellis I made from scrap wood, from the wood that I showed you earlier. And I just put this like twine, this Utah twine around them, and I hope that it will grow up here. Then yesterday I just buried some sprouted, or not sprouted, but pre-germinated pinto beans. I pre-germinated them inside, and hopefully they will also grow up this trellis. Then here is one marigold. It's called Eskimo. I did start this from seed, also way too early. Here is a pumpkin. It's called Lungo Gigante di Napoli. It's like this Italian squash. Very pretty. Also first time for me, that variety. Here is a tomato. It's called Microberry. And look at this cluster of flowers. That is literally insane. This is like a wild tomato variety as well. Then here I have zucchini. This is the Wanda variety. Hopefully it's zucchini, because I'm not 100% sure that it is actually zucchini. I did, before we went on vacation at the end of April, I did start some more seeds, and I forgot to label them because I thought that I would remember. I mean, I didn't forget to label them, I just didn't label them because I thought that I would remember, but I didn't. I started the pink banana jumbo. It's a pumpkin. And then I also started zucchini Wanda. So I'm not sure if this is actually zucchini or if it's the pink banana pumpkin, because the zucchini actually, when I grew it last year, it had variegation like this. So I'm unsure whether it is zucchini or not. We're gonna see as time progresses. Then here I have some tarragon, and yeah, these Poseidon hot peppers. I added a peony here. These I'm gonna put into my landscaping over there. And I have the grapes here. They will go on this little, on the part here. We're gonna put like a little grape hill here, as we're gonna transform this garden also with like fireplaces and seating areas. So the grapes will go over there. Currently they are still growing in the pot over there, and they're doing just fine. Then my greenhouse. I have a lot of stuff in here. I have some oregano, some basil that I still have since the winter. That was from the grocery store. Then I am growing loofah here. A lot of dill. As you can see, this desperately needs to be harvested. I've just been waiting on these food storage containers that I ordered from Amazon for them to go to the freezer. So that is my favorite way to preserve the herbs, is I like to freeze them so then I can use them still in the cooking or in soups, salads, whatever. And I feel like they contain the most flavor out of preserved stuff. So now that I have the containers, I will cut this dill down a lot and preserve it in my freezer. Then I have tomatoes here. I have 1, 2, 3 tomato plants here. These are the variety Buffalo Steak, and this loose leaf lettuce I also have to harvest. I did harvest some of this like the other day, but not a lot, so we definitely have to harvest some of this. But it's so pretty. And then I have some radishes growing here that are also actually ready to harvest, as you can see. So they're also ready to harvest. This is the French 18-day variety. And this dill is just so beautiful, but it's taking up so much space. And I don't want to get the tomatoes too shaded out or choked. So I definitely have to cut it down a lot. Then I am growing sweet corn in containers here. I definitely have to space the plants out a little bit more. So I'll take 2 or 3 out and put them in a different container. The reason why I'm growing them in a container and not outside in a garden bed is because they have to be in the greenhouse, because I have popcorn outside and I don't want them to cross-pollinate each other, and they're more protected in the greenhouse because corn can cross-pollinate each other. And if you have sweet corn and a starchy corn like popcorn, if they cross-pollinate, basically the corn, because you're eating the seed, it can have like a really bad quality and not taste so great anymore. So I don't want that. That's why I'm growing this in a container. Then here I have my hot peppers and another, no, these are both hot peppers, right? This one was, I think, cayenne pepper, yeah. And it's just starting to flower. It's a little bit behind than my other hot peppers. This one is habanero Calito red, and it's putting on fruit, as you can see. I have some chives here, some iceberg lettuce that I started in, I think, April or March or something. Celery, more tomatoes. This one is the same one like I have outside, the microberry, the wild tomato. Then I have one San Marzano here. A lot more dill, as you can see. But here, look again at these fruit clusters of the tomato. It's insane. Then I have some rosemary here, basil, and I interplanted with dill and marigold for pest control. Then I have black cherry tomato, and it's also just putting on flowers. I have black cherry tomatoes, 3 plants, 1, 2, 3, and then another San Marzano here. I have in a pot here 1 more bell pepper, and this rose here that I started from bare roots. I have 6 apple seedlings. These are from apple seeds that I got from a grocery store, Apple, and I just had them in my fridge because they need a cold period, so they need cold stratification to germinate. And once they germinated, I put them in soil, and now I have 5 apple seedlings. We'll see where we will put them. I will definitely give 1 or 2 away to my mother-in-law, and then we'll see where we put the other apple trees. This is the black cherry tomato, by the way. And I love these French marigolds. They're just so beautiful. It's really getting hot in this greenhouse when you're wearing a sweater. So at the end of this tomato row, I want to say, I have 2 eggplants that I also started from seed. This is early long purple, the variety, and they're just flowering now. So pretty. And actually some onions that I also started from seed. Then on the other side, I have tomatillos, and they have grown up so much. There are 2 tomatillo plants, and they have just been exploding for the last couple of days or a couple of weeks. I don't know. There's one mystery tomato back there that I don't know where it came from and I don't know what variety it is. So it's just, I don't know, been doing its thing over there in between the onions, and I've just been letting it. Then back here is my other cucamelon plant, and it's actually like I wanted it to. Climbing up this middle beam here. Then I have some marjoram that I just, I don't know, seeded or sowed, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something. And here are my pineapple tomatoes that I started from seed. I think I started almost all of my plants in here from seed. Yeah. And then I have these walking onions here in between my pineapple tomatoes. And there is another loofah plant also growing up this metal beam. Those pineapple tomatoes are looking amazing and so healthy. Then this side I showed you already. I have 2 more peppers here. I think most of my peppers I'm actually growing in pots because I don't really have, first of all, that much space left, and second of all, they are doing really well in containers. I had all of my hot peppers in containers last year and they were doing amazing. So I'm just gonna do that as well this year. And here is my lemon drop pepper that has 4 huge peppers on it. And it's the tiniest plant, but for some reason it has put on 4 huge peppers. And it's putting on more, as you can see. It's just been popping off as it's now getting warmer. And here is another snack pepper. This is the Yala and Rela variety that I have one outside in this garden bed as well. And this here is also my self-made trellising system. I just put on some rope on the middle beam, so once the loofah plants and everything can reach up to here, they can like get supported by this rope. But I've really got to get out this greenhouse. It's so hot in there with the sweater on. But yeah, I've been loving this greenhouse so far. Then our cherry tree, it's doing a lot better than last year. It had also some aphid issue, but the neem oil is taking care of that. Oh, and there's a spider. Can you see? The cherry tree, it did bloom, but I actually found out that it's not self-fertile, so it needs another cherry tree that blooms at the same time. That's also sweet cherry to fertilize it. And this is where our new cherry tree comes in. This one was struggling. So I just bought this a couple of days back from the hardware store, and it looked really healthy in the hardware store. Then I came home and I saw that it was filled with aphids. It had so many aphids. I've never seen that. Like the leaves there were filled. I don't know how I missed that in the hardware store. And on top of that, I saw that it had bacterial canker. At least I think it is that. Which luckily, because it has been more dry on the dry side recently, it has been doing a lot better, and I've been disinfecting the wound. But probably sooner or later, at least if it starts oozing, I will take care of it with a knife. I just wanted this cherry tree to get established first before I start like pruning it or doing anything to it, basically. So I just planted this last weekend. So I'm gonna give it at least a good 2 or 3 weeks, and it's looking a lot better. And like I said, the aphids are taken care of, which I think makes a huge difference for the tree. And also because it was, when I took it out, I saw that it had barely any like water roots. So I think also the pot was definitely an issue with this cherry tree. So hopefully it will bounce back. Then behind the cherry tree, I did plant some sunflowers here a while back. And actually, one pumpkin is here with some sunflowers. I don't know what pumpkin this is. It did plant itself. We're gonna see. I'm just gonna let it grow. It's a fend for yourself area back there. Like I said, we dug out all the lilacs back there as well, so some plants can fill in there for sure. And we're gonna see what pumpkin it is. I grew 2 varieties last year. It was Rouge Vive d'Anjou, which is like a French variety, and then I like large orange fruits, and then I grew Ochikikori, which was an amazing food pumpkin. I'm definitely growing it again this year, and my epic pumpkin patch will just get a lot bigger this year as well. So these 3 plants here are Ochikikori. I will put a picture here of how many pumpkins I harvested last year. I had 3 plants last year. This year I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. So actually, in the garden bed there are also 1, 2 more, so 9 pumpkin plants technically, and that is triple the amount of what I had last year. And I grew the pumpkins in the exact same spot last year, and this whole area was filled. So I already put some wheat textile down, so the grass will not grow in between the pumpkins. And like I said, so here is 3 Ochikikori. Then I have 1 Turk's turban, 1 more Turk's turban, and then 1 Atlantic giant pumpkin. I grew all of these from seed. At some point, none of them were germinating, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna have any pumpkins this year, so I started more. And then I ended up with a lot of pumpkin plants because they did finally start to germinate. I got a bit too impatient, I guess, and now I gave a lot of the pumpkin plants away to anyone and everyone who wants them. And now I still have 9 pumpkin plants in the garden. So we'll see how big this year's pumpkin patch will get. And by the way, this Atlantic giant pumpkin is the pumpkin variety that is the world record holder for the largest pumpkin. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna grow the largest pumpkin here, but I'm definitely excited to see how large they can get. Then I also have some onions here, and I also put just recently some little sunflowers, some short variety down in between. I think it will make a beautiful autumn patch here, like a fall patch with all the pumpkins and sunflowers. I have some radishes growing here currently, and here is my popcorn. Like I said, I planted them too deep. That was definitely my mistake because I didn't look at the package when I planted them on how deep you should plant them. So not all of them came up, but we have 9 popcorn plants, and I did just rearrange them so they would be in a block. They were like basically popping up all over, so I just planted them in a block, and we'll see if you will actually get some popcorn. This is just trial and error. We'll see how it will go. You know, in the garden not always stuff goes to plan, so if you're a gardener you have to get used to that. There were definitely a lot of failures this spring already, or things that didn't go as planned, but that's part of gardening, and we'll just see how this goes. If it's not gonna do anything, I'm just gonna try again next year. Then, as we're almost finished with the garden tour, I have some kale here, some purple kale. This is the scarlet variety. There's one more there. Then this beautiful conehead cabbage that the leaves are insanely big. and it's doing amazing. I did start these inside, I think in February. Then I took them out in April, but they were struggling a lot. I think it was because I didn't harden them off enough. Originally, I actually had, I think, 4 plants, and 2 of them died. My broccoli didn't make it at all, but it is what it is. Like I said, in the garden, not always things go as planned. And I'm just happy that these made it, and these are doing actually really great so far. Then I have some little Blanco lettuce here, some more snapdragons at the border here, nasturtium, and one more over there. Then I have some peas. These are just the like regular peas, so not sugar snap peas. I do have sugar snap peas here, and a lot of parsley that's still left from last year. It came back, and we have some spinach here as well. So like I always say, this is kind of the test garden area, which is where I'm doing my experimenting and hopefully harvesting. What our next steps are is continuing this hedge all the way to the fence basically. Then I want to put some of the apple trees here and one here. So we'll have a little orchard here. Then here will go the grapes, and I will put some hydrangeas here, like in a round circle. And then we want to do with some stones a fireplace and seating area here, and back there will probably go a sauna at some point. This is so far how our garden is looking. I'm actually amazed of how much it has changed in the last 2 weeks. I think the last 2 weeks it really started taking off, and I can't wait to see what is still in store for us with the garden this summer. Hopefully a lot of harvesting, and hopefully we'll have a great pumpkin patch as well again. That was, I think, my favorite thing last year in the garden. I just love growing pumpkins. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. It would be highly appreciated. I have a lot more these type of videos or cozy garden videos coming. I also do DIYs and decorating if you're interested in that kind of stuff, and occasionally some cooking or baking. And I would love for you to be part of this channel. So if you're interested, you can subscribe here. I hope you have the most amazing day. Never forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and I hope to see you back on my channel next time. Bye! Okay, I just got done filming the garden tour and it started hailing right now. You can't see it, but can you hear that like crystal noise? That's from the roof of our garage. There's literally hail coming down. There, you can see. Wow.